place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, stay not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace. None in my league, you out of place. I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
What's going on, guys? It's your host, your boy, George Bukai, and one half of the New Frontier Pro Commentary team. And welcome to the Cross the Line Prediction Show. And as you all know, as we've done now for 3 shows going on to our 4th, I never do this alone. Please help me welcome, well, you can't see him, but you can probably smell him because the bullshit has already been brewing from his mouth. Please help me welcome the greatest toupee in Ontario indie wrestling today, the one, the only Adam fucking Haze.
I appreciate the little middle name thing you're giving me, but that would be a dishonest service to, of course, Jesse fucking Amato, who's really earned that moniker and nickname over his life.
I was trying to start this pre-show off right. I was trying to be semi-nice, not going to go hard so quickly, but you've left me no choice.
No,
Fuck
but
you, Haze.
even with the bullshit like thing that you were saying, I'm gonna have my words in my mouth. Honestly, I'm in a great mood right now. It is showtime is just around the corner. We are, of course, going to be able to see some phenomenal matches, which, of course, we're going to be able to talk about on this amazing pre-show with you and me. And I have in my back pocket a absolutely killer surprise that I'm not going to relay or say anything about. And everyone is going to just have to find out what it is this Sunday at the Rock Pile in Etobicoke. That's all I'm going to say right now. But all I can say is dreams do come true. That's all I got to say.
Oh, right on. Okay, so you found out that your Hair Club for Men membership has been automatically renewed.
Honestly, I'm hold on. 1. Okay, that's 2 so far. Yeah, okay. Keeping a quick tally of just how many times the same joke is used over and over again. So
you want me to throw out new shit? Listen, I got new shit, motherfucker, okay?
We'll save it for Sunday. Of course.
Of course. No, fair enough. All right, listen, let's get into the match card, shall we? And I want to get this one over with now because I don't want to build it up later in the card. We know it's going to be later in the card, but let's talk the Mark Ass Buster Challenge. Let's get it right off the plate early. I know it's not going to be the first match out the gate, but let's get so we already know this event's opponent. We know that Guerrero Saya has come out and told Tarek he's going to tear it down. He's going to whoop his ass. He's going to make him pay for, I guess, what he did to Invincible the last show. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay, you were looking at your tally again, and I was wondering if you were make a joke that time.
Message from there, and I wasn't sure if it was something to do with my surprise or not. What again? Just got to be a little bit vague, but that's all I got to say for right now. But on to Tarek and Guerrero Saya. That no good son of a bitch. I'd like to add Guerrero.
Easy now.
No. I have every right to feel the way that I do. You saw what happened in Immortality. The whole world saw what happened in Immortality.
Yeah, you got involved. You guys tried to double team Invincible, and he came out and saved the day.
Let me tell my side of the story. Let me tell the truth first before everyone decides to spin the story, all right?
Listen, the truth is very clouded to you, and this is not Geraldo. You're not going to get your moment in the sun, okay? It's not going to happen.
I love the reference. That was great. I'm proud of you. Just like I'm proud of you for that earring, too. You're really doing things with your life.
Michael, baby. Got to have faith.
You gotta have faith.
Listen,
again, I'm in a great mood right now. Nothing's gonna alter this. The only thing that is gonna alter me right now is talking about this match, which is a shame because I'm talking about Tarek and his match. But the reason why is because Guerrero Saya did something that a lot of people in Ontario want to do, and only few people have done, and that's put their hands on me. Okay. So I know I've been put through a table in the past. I've been slammed. I've been concussed. I've been bled. I've done the whole 9 yards. This is
find all these wonderful things, by the way, on YouTube. If you just search up all the shit that's been done to Haze, you'll find it.
People showing me personally disrespect. But the only problem is I'm not just the only one that was disrespected. Okay? We were conducting our business. John Greed stepped in with his big ass beard and his big ass gut, trying to enforce some sort of matchmaker law of some kind. And then,
hold on, Haze, hold on. No, hold on, Haze. Haze, you hold on. You hold on right now. He was brought in by the matchmaker to maintain control in a company that has already lost control. The inmates are running the asylum. Inmates, much like yourself.
It's only been 3 shows. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and it's falling completely off the rails. Nobody is following the rules of New Frontier.
Of what rules there are, but yes, I completely.
Yes, there's not a whole ton of them,
Well,
but
you know,
already every rule has been broken multiple times.
And there's one person that has followed the rules, and that has been Tarek in his matches. He has not done any chicanery. He has done not any bullshit, no weapons, no nothing. He relies on punch, kick, chop, and gets a 1, 2, 3 or a KO every single time he's out there. Now, again, I was shown disrespect, and Guerrero Saya showed disrespect when we were leaving the ring by coming out and attacking us in the aisleway. Afterwards, we already left. Okay, that's exactly what happened. So, Guerrero Saya, I implore you that I just hope that your passport is all ready to go, that you've already said buenas noches to all your fans, to all your family here in Canada, because quite frankly, by the time that Tarek is done with you and you become 3-1 in New Frontier, you are going to be so ashamed of yourself. You're going to switch your own mask around, change your name, and head back to Mexico and probably be on the side of the road collecting, food for the rest of your life, ashamed of who you really are. Because that's what you are. You're a coward. You were a coward for attacking myself and Tarek the way that you did. But I have a lot more to say, and I will say it this Sunday at Cross the Line, and it's going to be, of course, at the Rock Pile in Etobicoke. So, of course, if you want to hear what I have to say, and if you want to see what I will admit will be the best match of the night with Guerrero Saya and Tarek, you can go and see it then. But I mark my words, Guerrero Saya, you're in for a hell of a beating, thanks to my man, my guy, my best friend, really, in this business at this point, the one and only Tarek. George, you may now continue to shit on me because that's exactly what you're going to do. So this is where I'm just going to do this and proceed.
Oh, there was just you talk about your tally of how many times the same joke's been used. I have a tally of how many times you've made the exact same speech with a ton of racial slurs mixed into them.
Racial slurs.
Going back to Mexico to sit on the side of the road to collect pesos or food.
I didn't say anything about that's racist. How dare you putting words in my mouth?
Okay, listen. Hayes, listen. Everyone knows that your judgment is very clouded. You don't see clearly. See, on the commentary table, people would look at us on the commentary table and they would be like, how is he the heel and Hayes is the face? But then when you go out and you run your mouth with Tarek and you literally stand behind Tarek and you point over him, you're like that small kid hiding behind the big kid trying to throw punches in. You're a sad human being. You've hitched your wagon to this horse, which I've said numerous times, and eventually your big mouth will get you into a situation where Tarek doesn't want to have a match, then bail you out of a situation. Point blank, you two tried to show the ultimate disrespect. You double teamed a wrestler after the match was over.
I never laid a single hand on him. Thank you.
Yeah, but you ran your mouth, and that's your weapon. You have no physical attributes, but this yap that you have. You have no physical attributes.
This body right now,
my 12-year-old daughter could whoop your ass. You're a sad human being. Okay, you are. Your wife Your wife wants to get out of this sodded misogyny of a marriage. And I've seen your child up close and personal, and a DNA test would prove he is not yours. He's not.
Okay, Maury.
All right? You are not the father, motherfucker. Bottom line is this. Tarek is a fantastic athlete. Top 5 in Ontario. Dare say top 5 in the world. I will give you that. But the fact of the matter remains, you hide behind Tarek. You double teamed a wrestler, his friend, his partner, his student came out to stop the shenanigans after John Greed couldn't. If John Greed didn't stop it, admit it. You were going to unmask him. You were going to do the ultimate disrespect and you were going to unmask. Admit it right now on camera. You were going to unmask Invincible.
I wouldn't. No. I have too much respect for the world of professional wrestling. I understand the idea of the mask. Okay, I do.
Also have too much respect for your own ego. Your own ego is going to be your own. You would have sullied that moment. Right now, if you had unmasked him, you would have had it on your hand. You would have had it on your hand, and you would no, you shut up. You would have had it on your hand, and you would have been gloating. Look what Tarek and I did. Like, you take some credit, but it wouldn't have been your credit. It would have been Tarek's credit, because Tarek is the only one that could have done that. Because your fat ass couldn't even roll through the fucking ring.
First of all, I'm not fat. I'm festively plump for all occasions. I'd like to get that point.
Are you
perfect.
fluffy?
Oh, I'm not fluffy. That's Puff. And thank God he's not on this show for tonight.
Oh, fucking guy. All right, let's move on.
Fine.
You've chosen Tarek. You've chosen Tarek. I have firmly put all my eggs.
Hold on. Wait. I didn't say that. Let me give my
Oh,
pick.
come on, Haze.
Give my pick. I picked Tarek. Go ahead.
I will always pick the opposite. I pick Guerrero Saya.
Okay.
I will never pick Tarek.
Cool,
and it's not.
You know what is cool about this match, though? Someone is possibly going to become, they're going to lose their winning streak that they've had. Someone is going to go from undefeated to having a 3-1 record here in New Frontier.
Tarek.
And I think that alone is so cool.
Tarek will lose.
I beg to differ, but
well, Tarek will lose if your dumbass gets involved in the process in any shape or form.
Disrespect, I swear to God.
Well, disrespect, but that's a new one on the tally. Go ahead and mark that down as a new one on the tally. It's a new one.
Go ahead.
I am trying to go ahead, but you just keep spewing bullshit. Thank you. All right, next match on the card, I'm going to say it's going to be a tag team match. This one I'm excited for because this is the budding feud, one of the hot pocket feuds that we've had here in New Frontier so far. It's pretty much been Freedom Wallace versus either Von Vertigo, Gabriel Fuerza. The feud started with Fuerza, but now it's budding. Now it's budding, and then all of a sudden, Ad Hutchinson came into the mix, and now it's become the collective, which is Freedom Wallace and Ad Hutchinson, the British Brawler, if you will, versus Fight or Flight. Fuerza and Vertigo. We all know I'm all in on Fuerza. I think he's fantastic. Vertigo is also an amazing talent. I can't take away the credit from any credit or disrespect from Wallace. I give Wallace utmost respect. When it comes to underhanded shenanigans and bullshit, he's top tier. Absolutely. And Ad Hutchinson, well, the dude loves to fight. So this one is going to be a match mixed with agility, ring IQ, and also pure raw power being the X factor in Ad Hutchinson. Because God love Vertigo, God love Fuerza, God love Fight or Flight. But unfortunately, neither one of them can match the power that is Ad Hutchinson. So this one is
I don't think they're going to have to worry about that, because clearly you haven't been doing any of your homework going into this show, because my sources that run deep in here, and I've just been doing a little, investigative journalism of mine.
Admit it, it's your ass kissing. My
journalism has actually found out that Ad Hutchinson is not going to be cleared for this event.
Why not?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give away trade secrets or anything like that. I was sworn.
Okay, your trade secrets are your knee pads. Your knee pads, because you're always on your knees sucking dick. Admit it. Fucking admit it.
First of all, no, I am not sucking the dick, as you would like.
What? Hold on, do that again, please. Go ahead.
I broke you. I broke me. Look, here's the deal. I know for a fact Ad Hutchinson's not going to be on the show. Okay.
Well, why do I have a picture that says different?
Because the collective is ever changing. And I have found out from a special one-on-one private interview that I conducted with Freedom Wallace that he
private in the VIP room where you're in the champagne lounge.
He actually is going to be producing a new member of the collective that will take Ad Hutchinson's place at this show, thus making this a lot harder now for Fight or Flight to be able to now predict and train for this, because we don't know who Freedom Wallace is going to now replace Ad Hutchinson with. Which, of course, this is breaking news. This is absolutely huge breaking news. This is going to change the dynamic of this entire match. So because of that alone, as much as I was going to say going into this, I was going to say Fight or Flight.
Bullshit.
No, absolutely not. The experience factor, the fact that they've literally grown up in this business, traveled the world together. Gabriel Fuerza has got a chip on his shoulder after what happened at Immortality. Of course, Von Vertigo coming off that 4-way match. They got a lot of momentum, and they got a lot of, piss and vinegar coming the way of Freedom Wallace, 100%. But Freedom is sneaky and conniving and all this stuff. And I know for a fact that him pulling Ad Hutchinson out just because he's going to debut a new...
Pulling out, much like Freedom Wallace did from your mouth. Go ahead, continue.
The fact that Ad Hutchinson is not going to be in this match, is going to be the X factor that Freedom Wallace always likes to have on his opponents. And therefore, I'm going to have to go with the collective on this one to beat Fight or Flight just because of the unknown. And Freedom loves playing with those odds and loves gambling the dice.
All right. You know what? As much as I hate to admit it, I will agree with you on that point. But the fact remains, I still will, forever and now, be an F or F guy. Fight or Flight. All day long.
Is it this? Is it this? Oh, okay.
It's this. Okay.
Is it this?
Show some. Well, that's what I do to you all the fucking time.
All
Hey,
the time.
listen, remember one thing. Here, you may get one up on me. You may. Because I'm not a person who can I can't insult you when you're not right in front of me. You are in front of me, but you're distantly away in the crack house capital of the world.
Oh, no. Don't be dissing Oshawa now.
I will diss Oshawa for all. Listen, Oshawa is the fucking turd of Canada. Oshawa is the turd of Canada. It is. It's the absolute. It's where Canada takes a shit.
That's one of your go-tos. Let's put the marker down.
I've never said that before.
No, that Oshawa is garbage. It's usually one of your go-tos. The hair plug.
It's not garbage. Listen, Oshawa. Listen, I'll give Oshawa credit for one thing.
Oh, here we go.
One thing. No, I will. If it wasn't for Oshawa,
backhanded compliment coming my way.
It's not a backhanded compliment. If it wasn't for Oshawa, the world wouldn't have prostitutes.
God damn it! There it is.
The world owes you a service. There are men out there who pay for sex, and a lot of the girls come out of Oshawa.
And you know what? I'm just happy that you finally found one to marry one. That's all I got to say.
Easy now.
Oh yeah. It's not nice when the sword on the side of the hand. Right?
It's not the other hand. Listen, my wife is not a prostitute. Okay.
No, she's a very lovely lady.
She's a very lovely lady. Much like yours is. But yours, I feel bad for her because I saw that every time at the baseball game, she tried to get away and you locked it in.
Oh,
I actually watched a movie. I actually watched a movie that was, I feel, based on your relationship. It's called The Black Phone. It's about a guy who kidnaps young boys and keeps them locked in his basement.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Ethan Hawke, great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
Next match.
Shut the fuck up. You suck, elephant cock. Douchebag. All right. Next match calls my wife a prostitute. What a prick. Next match, PD Skills and that Kyle. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, a strap on a pole match. I mean,
talk about douchebags. We can at least agree that there was a douchebag in this match.
Absolutely. Listen, the one thing we do agree on, other than the fact that you are, product of an incest relationship, which we've talked about to no avail. Bigamy started in Oshawa as well. You can actually Google it. Bigamy started in Oshawa, not in like the southern states, Oshawa. So there's a good chance that like you're probably you might incoherently.
You honestly just go on with the match.
No, you might. I just want to say this. I have to get you back for the one comment. I have to get you back because you might incoherently be related. You might be related to your wife. Somewhere along the line, your parents, and it's a thing.
I to say this someday. I can't.
Okay, anyways, that Kyle, PD Skills, strap on a pole match. We've been waiting for this. This is the culmination of that Kyle versus his daddy. And I think you and I both know where we're leaning towards on this one. Everybody loves to see Kyle get his ass whooped. I hope that fan that always comes that Kyle steals his shirts. I'm hoping.
What is up with that? Does anyone know that guy?
I don't think they know that guy, but I feel like that Kyle just picks on that poor guy. And that's not right.
I think he legitimately just buys his ticket so that way he can do that to him. So he
can to look tough? Yeah, I can see that.
15 seconds of fame or something like that. You know
I can see that. Regardless of the fact, I think we both agree that Kyle's going to get strapped.
Yeah. And it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It is going
to be wonderful. Of course, strap on a pole. Everyone knows the idea. This is a very Vince Russo-esque match if I've ever heard one, but be that as it may. The strap on the pole, there's a lot of history here, literally going back from show 1 between these two. Of course, that Kyle interfering at the end of PD Skills match. Of course, they had their, who's going to win the upper hand going into from Hostile Crisis. Of course, PD Skills was not actually at Immortality. He was unavailable for that show, but wound up showing up at the end anyways, pulling a little tit for tat of what happened at the very first show, The Odyssey Begins. That Kyle, I will say, a lot more athletic skill that he showed in his match with Danny Orlando, But in this match, there's going to be no athletic skill necessary. This is all about who can get the strap first and how many welts they're going to have. And I hope to God that Kyle gets whipped so hard that he's going to want to crawl back his mom upside his own mom's womb. And I screwed that line up, and I realized, and it's a disgusting visual to be able to say, but quite frankly, I'm salivating at the idea, and you can hear it in my voice, of the idea of that Kyle getting whipped. And I think everyone's going to be excited. That's worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah, I would agree with you on
exactly.
that. I would agree with you on that.
So,
You know what we should do next time? We should get 2 hobos from Oshawa and put them in a match. And we should have a crack pipe on a pole on one end and a prostitute on the other.
why do you want to see a match between Matt Cash and Jesse Mack? That's ridiculous.
That's horrible. Sir,
terrible.
Listen, you just shit all over Oshawa in one sentence. At least I do it consecutively. I mean, you can't talk about your cousins that way.
My cousins. That'd be a one terrible family tree if I was related to them.
Trust me, I've seen your family tree. You're related to everybody in Oshawa. You guys all sleep with each other. I'm surprised your kid didn't come up with 4 eyes.
You can't do journalistic things for this show, but you can look up my entire family tree on your off time.
Well, I got to be prepared for it. Listen, I did what's that website? Me and 23, something like that.
Oh my God.
You're connected to all. Yeah, you're connected to everybody. It's fucking gross. All right.
Well, no, PD Skills wins. Move on.
Absolutely. Next match, we got the newest tag team, if you will. What did you call them? The Beards? Sean Cruz?
Oh, I have no idea what I call these people, but
yeah, but Sean Cruz, you said they look like father and son versus Empire. Now, Empire, I mean, Matt Grant, TJ Kirk, we've seen these guys in action. They were in that amazing tag team fatal 4-way that was absolutely fantastic. We got to see the run of them. And you know what? I got to say that I'm a big fan of Empire as a tag team. I may not be all in on their tactics and how they do certain things, but I got to give it up to them. Now, you want to talk about the experience factor in this one. Well, the newly formed team of Sean Cruz, they got a tall task because Empire is one of the best teams in Ontario currently right now. They have won gold at a lot of different promotions. They know how to win. They know what to do. They know how to throw down in big matches. So for me, this one is a no-brainer. As much as I'm not a big fan of Matt Grant. Matt Grant, again, probably a distant relative of yours, just a smug, arrogant piece of shit. But I do think his brother's a talent. I got to give it up to Empire on this one. The only good thing about Matt Grant is when he walks away through the curtain, he doesn't a lot of guys blow the curtain open and they get that big gust of wind in your face with the commentary team. We don't have to worry about that because when he opens a curtain, it's like a hobbit going to the Shire, very small amount.
So no, absolutely. If he were to step on a crack in the floor, he'd fall through. We all know that. So that's just who Matt Grant is. And I'm not discouraging him because he's a small guy. You
absolutely are.
No, he's won a lot of championship gold all over this province. And there's a lot of history between Empire and Mark Shaw and Vandercruz that has spread over the last several years within this promotion. And if anyone wants to go back in the YouTube history to be able to find that out, they're more than welcome to. Matt Grant and Vandercruz do not like each other. Legit. And Mark Shaw has had cage matches and all these other stuff when it comes to him and Matt Grant, and of course bringing his brother JT Kirk into this. So really, here at New Frontier, the matchmaker knows all that history, kind of like what he did with Jesse Amato, and is bringing that to the forefront and being able to profit off of the hatred and history that these people have. So we're going to be able to see in this tag match. Now, be that as it may, I do not know if we're going to be having a goddamn Texas Tornado tag match like we did the last one. I pray to the Lord that we're going to actually have some rules and some tag ropes used in this one. I doubt it, but we will have to see what happens. I also am actually going to go with Empire in this one, strictly for the fact that they are brothers. They've had the experience factor. Matt Grant, as much as we say about him, he's conniving, he's vindictive, he's very much knows how to play the system and play it right. Even with the experience of Shaw and the new formation with him and Cruz, I'm going to have to go with Empire.
So basically just riding off the coattails of everything I just said, but in your own words.
When you're right, you're right. It's not often, but you did it, kid.
It is often. Much like guaranteed to pick up any kind of disease when you're driving or stopping in Oshawa.
Okay, and there's another one for the
Yeah, there's another one right there. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Actually, you probably already have, along with half the town of Oshawa.
Are you going to talk about the next match?
Nope. Just going to keep going at Oshawa.
Uh-huh.
Fuck Oshawa.
I wish we were in Oshawa instead of the rock pile.
If
Or
we were in, listen, if we were in Oshawa, it would take me an hour and a half to get a sandwich. It would take me fucking 20 minutes not to see it. It would take me 20 minutes to see 18 fucking crackheads. And still, I'd have to sit next to you.
okay, well, you clearly just don't know how to order a sub because they probably heard your order and they were probably like, oh my god, this snob is actually asking for double and triple meat and wanting
Actually, my go-to sub, this may surprise a lot of people, my go-to sub is the veggie sub, man. I like my subs with veggies. Just veggies.
That's good.
And you know what? The guy looked at me like I had three heads though when I asked for spinach. I guess spinach is a hot commodity.
Oh, fuck spinach. No. People in Oshawa know that spinach is disgusting.
People in Oshawa also look like you. So, I mean, what can you do, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. Next match, we have an introduction of some more female talent up in New Frontier. I'm stoked for this one. Jessie Mack has kind of been the first lady of New Frontier for the first couple of shows, being the only lady in the company holding it down, but not so much anymore. We've got another member of Empire being Crystal Moon, very loyal to Grant and Kirk. She might also be involved some way, shape, or form in that tag match because Empire always travels in threes, never just simply in twos. But she also has her own match to handle, being her going up against Jessie Mack and CC Galavis. So this is going to be one hell of a fight. I've seen CC. She can throw down. Crystal Moon's got a lot of history. She knows how to perform in big time matches. And Jessie Mack being the most experienced out of all three of these ladies. We're finally going to get to see Jessie Mack, I feel, in her Super Saiyan form. Jessie Mack is the best when she's mixed into a fatal four-way or triple threat situation. And as much as it pays me to say, I'm not actually going to go with Mack on this one. I'm not even going to go with Moon on this one. I might shock everybody right now. But CC Galavis, like I've said, I've seen her. She's impressed the hell out of me. She's got power. She's got speed. She's got agility. And for somebody so young in this business, she has a fantastic ring IQ and really knows how to work her way, especially in these triple threat situations. So I'm going to give the edge to CC in this one. I think she's going to surprise a lot of people, make a great debut, and come out 1-0.
Interesting. See, I've actually not seen CC live and in person, so this will be my first time actually seeing what she's all about and whatnot. Maybe she could use someone in her corner later on down the road if she's good enough. But
no, she definitely doesn't need you.
We'll cross that bridge one day. Crystal Moon, I have seen a handful of times. She's definitely earned her stripes here in Ontario over the last couple of years. Of course, her allegiance to Empire, and of course with Grant and Kirk, always makes her a little bit more of a formidable opponent, especially when it's a relaxed rules like a triple threat, which normally would have no disqualification, no count out, yada yada yada. Fucking doesn't matter anyways here in New Frontier. And then of course Jessie Mack, who at the last show went double duty, actually, not only defeating and getting her hands on Ricky Wilde, which she was oh so thankful to be able to do after what happened to her when she fought Cranial X, but then wound up going up again, teaming up with Matt Cash, fighting Shaw and Vandercruz, obviously being on the losing end of that. But be that as it may, I'm going to have to go, though, with Jessie Mack, though, on this one. I think she is riding a little bit of momentum. She's got the experience in front of this New Frontier crowd. She thrives, as you said, in those opportunities where she can pick and choose her spots in these kind of, relaxed rules, these multi-person matches and whatnot. So based on that alone, I'm going to have to give it to Jessie Mack.
Interesting. I don't think either of her pick is bad, and I also think even if we have picked Crystal Moon, it's really anybody's game at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I just think CC's going to come out all kinds of piss and vinegar, all kinds of fire, and really show the New Frontier fans what she's about. Okay, next match on the card, we got the man you actually just mentioned, teaming up with Jessie Mack, his better half, Matt Cash, going up against Aiden Rain.
Mm-hmm. Now these guys have known each other for a very long time.
I was about to say there's a lot of history here, a lot of bad blood,
especially here in the Rock Pile. Aiden Rain coming up from just being a fan as well to earning his keep within like the deathmatch world, and is now finally being able to show himself here in New Frontier and against someone who he has had bloody wars with all across Ontario, and of course with Matt Cash. So the familiarity in this match is what very intrigues me. Between these two. Of course, Matt Cash, that we saw, as I said prior, with him and Jessie Mack taking on Shaw and Cruz being on the losing end. But Matt Cash has been surprising some people. He's not just showing that he's just some deathmatch guy. He's going in there and trying to wrestle his ass off. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're going to have that kind of matchup here. This isn't going to be a Dory Funk versus, you know, oh goodness, one of the Briscoe brothers, Jack Briscoe here. But
there you go. Sorry, guys. He had his phone stalled out on him.
Tired. No, I got a new puppy. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But honestly, I think in this one I'm gonna actually go with Aiden Rain, and only because a lot of people are not susceptible of what he's actually incapable of doing, and the man can take a beating, and he's gonna have to take one, especially from Matt Cash, who throws heavier hands for being a smaller guy here in New Frontier than most people do. So I'm gonna actually have to go with Aiden Rain for the shock and upset for some people, but not for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I actually also am going to go with Aiden Rain on this one, just because, like I said, I don't get me wrong. I love Matt Cash and I love everything that he brings to the table, but there's just something about this feud, this bad blood, that I just feel like them not seeing each other yet here in New Frontier. This gives Rain a little bit more edge to come into the promotion kind of blindsided and really pull one over on Cash to, again, ignite this feud. It seems to be that Cross the Line is all about reigniting old feuds and continuing on these new ones that we have developing in New Frontier as the Odyssey continues, if you will. All right, next match, we got Invisible Jr. going up against the man who came in last event, shocked a lot of the New Frontier fans with how epic he is as well, Archangel. Now, I love Invisible Jr. I love what he brings to the table, but I got to say this much right now. Archangel is fucking fire. That dude is all kinds of fire. I'm putting my stamp on it right now that this is going to be a war. It's probably going to be a candidate for match of the night for sure, but I'm going to give the edge to Archangel in this one because, man, oh man, did he impress the fuck out of me. Not taking anything away from Invisible Jr. He is fire as well, but I don't know, man. Archangel, it hits different. He hits different, man.
Archangel definitely impressed, especially what happened to that last show, and got to be up close and personal with Invisible Jr. and got to really see what he can do in the ring with Tarek. This might seem a little biased and a little, one-sided and whatever here, but I'm gonna have to go with Archangel, and for the only reason is because Invisible kicked me in the face, and he's a piece of shit for it. So that's my reason.
In my opinion, Invisible should get a shot at the New Frontier title for that. Should be.
Oh, so you want him to be in a grave, is what you're saying?
No, I just
one that goes against Cranial.
I think him kicking you in the face was the highlight of the fucking night, because for the rest of the night, your ass didn't talk too much. I didn't smell your breath. I didn't have to look at your wife wondering when she's going to be let out of the basement again after having to go home. I didn't listen. Let's be honest here. Okay. At the last show, there was only two things that when I looked at your face, there was only two things that I saw. A guy that got fired for being Barney for questionable actions, which I mentioned on the show, and a dude who said he's not a Prince fan rocking a Purple Rain type jacket. Fuck you, dude. Okay. That's why when you're on your knees and you're in the back doing your journalistic integrity, When Doves Cry plays.
Oh my God. First
okay?
of all,
se lo dio a Luis Vázquez porque, como lo dijiste tú nuevamente, el maestro Orlando Vera. Es la imagen. Acaba de olvidar.
It does.
Now,
next match on the card.
No, two things.
Versus Steve Brown.
No, fuck you.
This one's going to be fire. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be absolutely epic. Bone Crusher Steve Brown is all kinds of literally bone crushing power. And Sonny Z, I'm excited about this kid and what he brings to the table as well. This may shock a lot of people, may not. I'm gonna go with Steve Brown on this one, man. As much as I think Sonny Z brings
How
something
is that
different to the
shocking?
table. Well, it's not shocking. It's just that, like I picked Travis Moore the last time, which I did win those chicken wings, and they were fantastic.
Mhm.
The fact is that Steve Brown, but what I think Steve Brown did is he exposed a kink in the armor. I think Travis Moore exposed a couple kinks in Steve Brown's armor. And I think Sonny Z may be able to exploit them. He might pull an upset, but I doubt it. Steve Brown gets you in a corner. Steve Brown gets you in any kind of power move. Steve Brown hits you anywhere in that ring. It takes a lot out of you. It's like 5 guys hitting you at once. When Steve Brown hits you, you feel it. We feel it all the way up in the commentary table. He's the hardest hitter in New Frontier next to Cranio X. So for me, I think he deserves a shot at the title. I think him and Cranio X would have a banger of a match. But yeah, Steve Brown over Sonny Z all the way. And your choice?
Yeah, it's got to be Steve Brown. I mean, there's some guys, especially when they're bigger guys, especially in this business, in the modern era of wrestling, where they know they're bigger guys, taller, bigger, size wise, whatever, and they try to do everything, especially that the younger, smaller guys like to do. You know what I mean? Like you see a lot of these 6'8" guys trying to do moonsaults, or these guys that are 3, 4, 500 pounds trying to jump off the top rope and trying to show, hey, I can do it too. Steve Brown knows that he doesn't need to do that stuff. He's almost a 20-year veteran at this point in the sport, and quite frankly, Steve Brown has gained enough respect and fear in the locker room based on what he can do in the ring, which is simplistic, which is barbaric, and is brutal every single time. He's going to go out there. He's going to punch you in the mouth. He's going to drop you on your ass. He might hit you with a splash or two or an elbow and make you feel like you just got hit over or run over by a Mack truck. So Sonny Z, it's going to be great to be able to see you live as well. Hopefully you're not going to be able to leave in a body bag next to, someone else I'm going to be talking about later on. But Steve Brown, it's all Steve Brown all day.
Fair enough. We've agreed a lot on this one. This is surprising. All right, next match. We've got one and only Mr. Orlando versus Furlong. What do you got on this one?
This is an intriguing matchup, I will say. I'm going to go, I don't know much about Furlong as well. I feel like there's a lot of just influx of like new talent that the matchmaker is just sought after that I'm really excited to be able to see live. And this is one of those cases as well. So it's kind of one, you got to know what you know in that sense. So because of the unknown factor, I don't know what to expect out of Furlong, but Danny Orlando, after coming back, after being gone away for so long, of course, doing what everybody wants to do in the world and beat the crap out of that Kyle at the last show at Immortality. I'm sure he's riding a little bit of a high right now. So I think he's just going to carry forward that momentum, shall we say, moving on and going 2-0 here in New Frontier. So myself, I'm going to have to go with Danny Orlando.
I am going to go with another new face. I don't know what it is. Furlong intrigues me, man. And not take anything away from Orlando, because listen, anytime you can whoop that Kyle's ass, it's a good day, and you're going to ride high for sure. You are.
Sure.
But Furlong intrigues me, man. He reminds me of like if Edge and Christian had a baby. I think he's got the speed and the height of an Edge, and I think he's got the sadistic side of a Christian, and I think it just rolled into one. It's a deadly combination, and I feel like he may be underestimated, but I think he's going to shock the New Frontier fan base. And as much as I love seeing Orlando whoop that Kyle's ass, I mean, all day long, twice on Sundays, but riding that high, that's not going to get you to go 2-0 in New Frontier. So I got to give it to Furlong on this one, 100%. All right, next match on the card before we get to our main event. Next match on the card, we got the veteran, the OG, the epitome of wrestling, Rip Impact, who's literally lit it up and tore it down multiple matches thus far in New Frontier. Obviously, last show did not walk out the New Frontier Grand Champion. We know Cranio X did, and we will reveal his opponent in a little bit. But he's going up against a man who stepped away from wrestling for a little bit to kind of get mind, body, and soul healed and right, and is back in a fury, and is back in a different form, back in almost reincarnated into a better version of himself. And that's Tyler Arrow. And that's a deadly combination for anybody that Arrow steps in the ring with. as much as I love Rip Impact and what he brings to the table and his accolades, his resume, it all speaks for itself. We've listed a few of these accolades on every other prediction show we've done. Tyler Arrow, the kid is special. The kid is special. He's bred different. He's bred tough. No nonsense. He can take a beating. He can give a beating. He can hit you from multiple angles. And I don't know, man. I think Arrow's ready to come back and redeem himself after answering the inaugural for Mark Ass Buster Challenge. And he took Tarek. He took Tarek to the limit. Tarek scored the win for sure, cleanly. There's nothing you could say about that. But Tyler Arrow opened a lot of eyes during that match with Tarek. So I don't know, man. I think he's ready to go to the next level. I think he's in a hunt for that heavyweight strap. And I feel like if he gets one over on Rim Impact, the matchmaker will have to take notice. I'm going with Tyler Arrow on this one.
He definitely will take notice. Of course, you're forgetting as well that he was a part of that 4-way tag team elimination match that we had at Hostile Crisis.
No, I didn't forget. I was just mentioning his singles accolades, right? I wanted to focus on his singles side of stuff.
I just want to point out to the fact that Tyler Arrow, great talent, young upstart, who is opening a lot of people's eyes and is going to open a lot of doors for himself moving forward, not just here in New Frontier, but in professional wrestling. He's very good at getting very close and not winning. And I'm not saying that as a snag, because against Tarek, we all know, obviously. But the 4-way tag was interesting too, because it was the same thing. He got very close, 2 teams eliminated, and then ultimately his team of Airstrike lost to, of course, Guerrero Saya and Invincible Jr. Now he's coming back after refreshing himself. I thought that, he was done. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was done. So now he's trying to prove his mettle and come back and show, I still do have what it takes. I am still young enough in this business. I can make something of myself. And someone that has made something for themselves is Rip Impact. He has been the constant professional here in Ontario. And granted, his first win over Vander Cruz was what it was. Of course, it was easy peasy for him, for someone for his experience, not taking away from Vander. But of course, Justin Sane, going to that 20-minute draw, I think really showed a different side to Rip Impact that a lot of people are used to seeing. And then we saw a little bit of that again spill over into that triple threat match with, of course, Cranio X and Justin Sane for the title that we had in New Frontier Immortality. But I think Justin Sane's feud with Rip Impact has shown Rip Impact himself that he has a bit more of an edge, that he doesn't need to be relying on the fact that he's the best and quite possibly one of the best pure wrestlers here in the company. That if he harnesses that edge, utilizes that anger, and decides to maybe even just bend the rules a little bit, he can be able to show some respect out of these people. And I think he's going to try to do that to Tyler Arrow. Not taking anything away against the kid as well. I think this is going to be a fantastic match. Could be a show stealer as well, besides Tarek and Guerrero Say, in my opinion. However, Rip Impact, I'm sure, is sullied after what happened, is going to be coming back with a rain of fire around his ass, and is going to be wanting to be able to prove to the matchmaker that, look, I am still a contender. I still want Cranio X. I'm still better than Justin Sane. I'm still in the top echelons here in New Frontier. And the best way to do that is to take out Tyler Arrow before the rocket really gets strapped to him. So I'm going to go with Rip Impact on that one, just solely for the fact that he has the most to be able to gain with this victory, in my opinion, even over a Tyler Arrow.
Fair enough. I can't take away with the stuff you said as much as it pains me. I do agree. But I know it's Tarek and Saya. It's not going to be match of the night because you're involved in it. You take away from
I'm not involved. I am outside.
Listen, you're on the outside and you're giving this guy advice that doesn't need your advice.
No, he does. Everybody needs, not even just my advice. Anybody really could use the advice, that extra set of eyes and ears that is seeing something that maybe they're not because they're in the heat of the moment of the battle. That's what Tarek sees in me and has noticed over the last couple of shows. But again, already talked about Tarek. I'm going to save my spiel for Sunday because I got a lot to say, and I got that big surprise that I got coming planned. That's going to blow the roof off that place. It's going to be amazing. But you want to talk about something that's going to possibly blow the roof off this place? Let's talk about the main event.
Don't intro my main event.
No, that was a
fucking intro. No.
Yeah.
One thing I got to say is you're talking about heat of the battle. That's like you versing a burrito. That's the heat of the fucking battle.
Depends on the
Now,
break.
for the main event of the evening, the current reigning, defending New Frontier Grand Champion, Cranio X, of course, with Pretty Ricky in his corner.
In his first title defense, I'd like to add too. I just want to add, go on. You were doing good.
Versing the man who vanquished his past, the man who took Tyler Hill to the limit and took a beating as well, and eventually vanquished, that last little part of his former self. And he is now the number one contender versus Cranio X, and that is Jesse fucking Amato. And this match, man, oh man, after the beating that Tyler Hill and Jesse Amato gave each other at the last show, I don't even know how Jesse Amato is going to be physically and mentally ready for this match. I never understand how Jesse Amato is physically or mentally ready for any match he steps in the ring with. From that first match with Justice Sane at the first card to, the multiple series of matches with Tyler Hill. Man, oh man. I don't know how this ends in anybody's favor. Cranio X is unstoppable. The only person that can control him for now is Pretty Ricky until Cranio realizes he doesn't need Ricky. And Jesse Amato, the guy's unstoppable. I mean, he literally is unstoppable. And there's nothing I can say about Jesse Amato that already hasn't been said. This is, again, another match where I can't pick a winner, but I have to. As much as I want to give it to Jesse Amato, you'd be stupid enough not to pay attention to the beast that is Cranio X. And the fact that right now this guy is legitimately at the mountaintop and untouchable. As much as it pains me to say, I think Cranio X will retain with a little help from Pretty Ricky, probably. But I know Jesse Amato will take him to the limit and really make him earn this first title defense. But I'm going to give it to Cranio X. As much as my heart doesn't want me to, my head is telling me I got to.
Here's an interesting statistic that I just want to point out as well when it comes to this main event. Cranio X has yet to be pinned. And I don't just mean like lost a match. I mean physically pinned. His shoulders have not hit the mat for even a 1 count. Now, Jesse Amato is very creative when it comes to being able to deliver pain, when it comes to thinking out match strategy, when it comes to thinking what is the best possible way that I can win a match. He's outside the box thinking more than anybody I know. And trust me, he is sometimes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with some of the ideas this guy comes up with. And quite frankly, maybe that's the kind of strategy, maybe that's the kind of mindset that you need to be able to defeat someone like Cranio X. The only reason I'm not picking Jesse Amato for this match is because of what happened at the last show. You cannot tell me that even just after a month that he is completely properly healed. A man that has had his bones broken, his body wrecked over the years and years of death matches and torment that he has done to himself, both physically, mentally, everything. You're just going to tell me that after a month that he is completely healed. 100%. I guarantee you Jesse's going to pretend he is, but I don't think he really is. And I think he knows walking into this match, this is a do or die scenario against Cranio X, because quite frankly, anyone that steps in the ring with Cranio X is literally putting their life on the line. And now it's not just because of the fact they want to fight Cranio X, because God forbid you'd be an idiot to actually want to challenge him in the first place. Now you have to challenge him because he's the grand champion. And of course, with Ricky Wilde at ringside, acting like the little snake that he is. Jesse Amato, I love you. You know that I'll always love you. You'll always be a brother to me. But quite frankly, you took this match a lot sooner than you should have. And you're going to pay the ultimate price for it across the line this Sunday. And I hope that you are still able to walk out of this match. And I said the same thing in the no rope barbed wire match, but this is a whole lot different. While Tyler Hill may have had a little bit of some compassion for you at some point because he respected you as a competitor, I don't think Cranio X has that mentality, has that will, has that drive to be able to have compassion for his opponent. Look what he did to Jesse Mack. Look what he did to Justin Sane and Impact in one match. Cranio X is unstoppable. And as much as I love you, Jesse, I don't think you're the man to do it. At least not tonight. At least not in this night across the line this Sunday in Etobicoke. So my money, the farm, everything is going to have to be on Cranio X.
Wow, putting the family farm on Cranio X, eh? What's that? Like 1 acre in Oshawa for like a penny?
Hey, man. That's at least like a quarter of a farm. All right. I said Oshawa. We're all clustered together right now. We're all one big happy family. And don't you make any fucking remarks about family jokes.
Well, on that note, on that note,
Hey,
Adam
bitch.
Haze has admitted he is involved in an incest family of some kind. And that is the way we will end this prediction show.
We're ending on incest. That's disgusting. What is this, Game of Thrones? What's wrong with you?
Well, Oshawa is what Oshawa is. What are you going to do?
Does that make me the king of the north? Because like I'm pretty cool.
No, that makes you the king of whatever the fuck that town is, man. Whatever the fuck that town is. I mean, when you drive through Oshawa, you could smell a brother getting off his sister. It's gross. It's absolutely gross.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, well, that's your fucking city. All right. Anyways, guys, as always, I'm your host, boy, George Mackay. Don't forget to check the socials for anything to do with anything that I do in my journey in wrestling. And also, Haze has got socials too. He's got a podcast. Who gives a flying fuck about that? Tickets are still on sale for Cross the Line. That's this Sunday, July 24th at the Rock Pile, 55555 Dundas Street in Etobicoke. So get your tickets. Get them while they're hot. They are a hot commodity. Hottest ticket in town on a Sunday, and it's going to be fire. We just went through the whole match card for you. So get ready, get pumped, get hyped. It's all that. As always, I am your host, your boy, the one and only one half of the commentary team, the better half of the commentary team for New Frontier Pro. And as always, with me,
The
Haze.
man, the myth, the legend.
All right, guys. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you guys next time. I'm not going to give you any airplay time. You suck, elephant cock. Peace out, guys.
Motherfucker.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.